Well, here's a day that's off to a good start. I managed to wake up all by myself at the appointed time. That's not a sign that the gods are with me today. I don't know what is. Besides, this day should be noticeably less tense than yesterday. Silver Kai wants me to go hunting with him, but let's be honest. It will probably come down to a walk in the woods. I'll watch him hunt something and cheer at the appropriate time. Speaking of the stag, he should be waiting for me at the north gate. I should hurry to find him before he leaves. Getting through the city is easier than yesterday. Capital or not, it's early morning. People are just starting to wake up, and the passers-by are few. It only takes me about 15 minutes to get to the city gates. Now I just need to find my hunting companion. It's rather surprised that I see the cat sitting on the side of the road, carving the wooden figurine he was already working on the day before. He has made quite a bit of progress and I now recognize the shape of a crocodile's head. The strange thing is that the posture of the reptilian creature looks neither animal nor anthropoid. It's a kind of monstrous hybrid that one could find in a children's story. I don't even have time to address the hunter before he lifts his head in my direction, greeting me with a polite nod before carefully stowing his work of art in a small satchel hanging from his belt. Didn't think you'd get here before I left. Usually it's too soon for people who enjoy their little comforts. He allows himself a smile that hints at going for me. He stands up. Who does he think I am? You know, I rarely live in one place for long. I'm used to getting up early and leaving in a hurry. Getting up early is a good start, but are you able to be efficient after waking up? Dearest Vakat, I have survived huge binges followed by very short nights before our gigs even start, and I'm captivated the crowds despite my hangover. So it's just a little walk. If so, this is a little forest walk in the morning, I should be able to get through it. We're not here to walk. We're here to hunt, and the first rule of hunting is to be quiet. You must avoid scaring our praise, because it's just a look enough to make me realize our discussion ends here for now. Obviously, you are more than happy not to talk with the grumpy horns, but so be it. I'll prove to you that I can be quiet. Sometimes. The buck takes the lead and walks briskly. Given our size difference, I'm almost forced to run to keep up. He's obviously not planning to go easy on me. I trot over to him, feeling a tad ridiculous being stuck between walking and running, but if he thinks that will be enough to shut me up, he's fooling himself. We're not in the woods yet. I doubt I'll scare anything away. So, that figurine you were carving, what exactly is it supposed to represent? The crocodile looking thing? I don't know. Something I see in my dreams. You can call that thing a dream. Oh, so you're made like everyone else after all. Even you need sleep. I allow myself a playful smile, but the hunter just shakes his head for growl. I guess you still think I'm a monstrous idea. I have no regrets. They had their chance to settle the situation peacefully. For a moment I slowed down, surprised by the turn the discussion is taking. This is not exactly what I meant. You're not the first person to kill to protect me, and I don't see you as a monster for it. To be quite honest, I was surprised by how easy it was for you, but I would never blame you for that. It's not easy. It's never easy. I just make it look like it is. First you convince yourself that the person you're about to kill doesn't deserve to live. You tell yourself the world would be better off without them. The sad's voice hardens and then he turns a cold gaze on me. I suddenly feel like I'm not talking to the same person. All emotion seems to have left the cell, leaving it full of emptiness. And then you think about all the other Africans who died because no one had the balls to kill these guys. You tell yourself every predator must know the fate of a prey sooner or later. I can barely swallow my saliva when I see Vikas's expression. I once again feel like a prey facing its predator, but I struggle as much as I can to keep my muscles from tendernizing. I can't assume to understand what you were going through. I can only appreciate what you have won from me. As long as there are people like you out there, I guess I'll feel safe. The hunter's eyes seemed to come to life again as he shakes his head, waltzing as if I'd said something stupid. You shouldn't. The only one who can guarantee your safety is yourself. Me, you've been relying on others until now. I can only encourage you to be independent. That's why I'm going to teach you to hunt. This time I stopped completely, crossed my arms, tapping my paw on the ground. When exactly was he planning to tell me this? I didn't plan to hunt. I plan to watch you hunt. I'm a herbivore. I don't need to learn that. I never said I would let you watch. I said I'd take you with me. Do you think you're here to sniff flowers and pick mushrooms? You're too used to having an easy little prey. The cat was obviously struggling not to outright laugh at me. I feel a little insulted, but he's not completely wrong. I should have seen it coming. I'm not happy about it though, but I gave my approval yesterday. All I had to do was ask for details, and that'll teach me, I guess. Okay, I'll try. But I'm unable to hurt a fly, so I will pray. Besides, you only have one bow, and I doubt I'll be able to handle it considering the size of this thing. I'll help you, don't worry about that. The hunter pauses for a moment, then seeing my words, look, immediately resumes with an air of both reasserting full authority. And no, there's no point in making any more excuses. You'll have to learn to survive your own. I'm not going to hunt for you every time you need a string. It's easy to teach you the ropes. Now it's my turn to sigh heavily and keep quiet. I don't really want to kill an animal. That's usually the job of predators. But truth is, Akhet isn't a predator either, and yet he is a royal hunter. At least his dad got what he wanted. No one talks anymore. And it probably suits him since the vegetation is getting thicker and thicker around us. He would have asked me to keep quiet so as to not scare the prey away anyway. I'm enjoying the sound of the wind and the branches and the birds singing while I can. Maybe I'll find some inspiration in nature, who knows? Well, it's not as interesting as epic battles or steamy romances when it comes to storytelling, but it speaks to other deeper emotions. I suddenly hear a rustling in the grass. It seems that because hearing is not as sharp as mine, as he continues walking. Without waiting, I grab his arm and point in the direction of the noise before putting a finger in front of my lips. He understands immediately and grabs his bow before lifting his muzzle into the air. He sniffs, and then he does and moves forward under the cover of the thickets, skirting around the direction I pointed. I follow him closely while crossing since I'm practically his size now. The hunter eventually positions himself on a high point from which I can see the source of the noise. It's a stag. I glance towards Akhet, but he doesn't seem to have the same hesitation as I do. Is he really hunting his own species? The animal's too busy grazing to notice us, and obviously it doesn't sense us either. Without waiting, my hunter partner puts the bow between my fingers and then whispers in my ears. I'll help you pull the string. You're right-handed, so hold the bow in your left paw, the string in your right. Aim with your right eye. I will correct your posture. What? Just like that? Right now? Don't I get 5 minutes of prep time, a little warm-up, or even a demonstration? The cat gives me an impatient look, and I tie my paws on the weapon. It is clearly not the time to question. Feel the adrenaline pumping through me. I try to get into what feels like the most natural position to shoot. The cat's paws come to rest on my shoulder, on my right shoulder, and left hip to position me. Then he notches the arrow. I could almost be a romantic moment as the stag wasn't so rough with me. I feel like I'm being shaken like a plum tree in the middle of the harvest season, with the warmth of the hunter's breath against the back of my neck sends shivers of excitement down my spine. This reminds me of my lessons with Erwin, but I must say they were considerably more enjoyable. I doubt the cat and I would end this day in the same bed. My mental wanderings come to an end when I feel the rope tighten, obviously not the one who managed to pull it. The damn weapon is impossible to handle. The buck has placed his paw under mine on the bow's handle, and I can feel his body tense up from the effort. It's strange, I feel like he's much more muscular than he looks, although the moment is pleasant, the position is not the most comfortable. He feels like a real stone wall against my back. You better move your ears or the string will cut them, and put the tip on the arrow slightly above your target. hunter's guys, I'm careful not to let anything stick by cutting my aim. That's when he lifts the string. I can feel the gust caused by all this tension suddenly released when the projectile goes at full speed into the animal's sight. Someone's pale orange reflection protrudes. For a moment I am torn between the excitement of having succeeded and the fact that I have killed an animal for the first time. With some divine intervention, the animal was still standing. He bolts immediately at the initial surprise while standing. My body shaking with the adrenaline of the moment, yet not knowing what to do. I barely have time to understand what I have to do when the cat has already launched himself at the beast. I shake my head and try to follow him, but the size and the fact that he's used to moving through the thickets ensure that I lose him very quickly. All my ears can guide me now. I follow the sound crackling branches and leave as quick as I can to keep up, but eventually only silence remains. Cat, where are you? I realized how quickly the quiet natures that I found poetic and inspiring until now could become oppressive. I don't know what kind of predators these forces might harm, but I'm just a rabbit. No, Eric, have some balls, damn it. You're not a child. Everyone's been telling you to toughen up since you get here, so you better show them what you're made of. I grabbed a grip of the rapier and pulled it out of the scabbard, then turned my head to try to catch any sound that might come up. Shit, I ain't gonna burn. Erik, over here. Oh fuck, he scared me. I turned to the source of the noise. It doesn't seem to be very far. Keep talking, I'm coming. I will receive, then take a breath before moving toward the cat's voice, who settles intermittently until I find him kneeling beside the animal, which is now quite dead. The stag smiles at me, and that simple expression seems more shocking to me than seeing the carcass of an animal of the same species as him lying on the ground. Nice shot for a first time, but look, we got unexpected help. I pull the prey's head by his antlers. He pulls the prey's head by his antlers, revealing three tears in the neck. Blood drips from them to form a small string that gets lost among the dead leaves. A snow leopard did this? I had to chase it away. It's bad enough to have to share with a weakling, but the wild animals get involved. Looking up at Vakar, I expect to see his usual grumpy look, but he's still smiling. Would that be teasing? No, I'm going to pass this opportunity. I need an answer equipped too. Are you sure you are Vakar? I was planning on spending my day with a grumpy stag. You didn't happen to see him in the bushes, did you? Well, I did find a stag, I guess. Didn't have time to chat with it to see if it was grumpy, though. The hunter chuckles past the corpse. It's a little icky, but I bet a dark human doesn't hurt after all the attention. It's my turn to take a look at the dead buck. It's disturbing to see the cat behaving so nonchalantly with it. I don't understand. Is that supposed to be a taboo for you? I mean, I'm not judging. It just surprises me. Part of the cards are prayed to make the cat understand what I'm talking about. He seems to think for a moment before struggling with a puzzled look on his face. Why? I killed 2 bandits. I'm a hero. Killing an animal outside, I should feel bad about it. It's not so much the killing of an animal that seems strange to me. Just that killing an animal that looks like you. I could kill an animal killing my own kind, not feel bad about it, you know? Well, let's say it's a different moral for sure. Nick Cat picks up on my concern, but he looks embarrassed and rubs the back of his head with his paws still covered in blood. Oh yeah, I know what you mean, I think. I know it's usually frowned upon to do that. After all, it could have been me. The stag lowers his eyes, plunges his gaze into the now lifeless eyes of his animal counterpart. That said, I don't think that sharing the same species make us close to each other. I believe the gods did more than give us our intelligence. I don't know if I explain it very well. This thorough trip surprised me more and more. I didn't expect to be discussing theology when a grumpy hunter deep in the woods in front of a dead buck. I think I understand, but we better settle down somewhere if you want to have a discussion about this kind of subject. This place isn't really audible for that. He just nodded for grabbing his game to put it on his shoulder, carrying it like it weighs nothing. Then he motions for me to follow him. I know a nice place, come on. After a good half-hour walk and my paws are hurting, I struggle. I'm struggling. I'm struggling not to grumble too much. After all, this is my punishment for breaking the cat's flute so often. Besides, it gives me a better understanding because he seems to open up a lot easier when he's in his element. Eventually, he comes face to face. We come face to face with a rocky hill that the car begins to climb with ease. Oh no! Why do we have to climb? I hate it. Well, Eric, focus. And inhale. It's okay. It's just a few walks. It's not like he's asking you to climb a ladder. A ladder now. That would be a good reason to panic. Now exhale. Outside in the office, the deer manages to hear it sneers as he reaches for a paw. Tidaway? I still give him a jaded look before grabbing his forearm, and he pulls me along effortlessly, even propelling me over him. Yeah, easy there. Not so fast and not so hot. You should keep up with me if you don't want to be tossed around like that. And stop complaining. I'll carry you on my shoulder right next to our plane. And now as I rises to my head, this is the thought of being treated like that, but I quickly pull myself together so I do not suffer like that fate. And I even get a head start by climbing a small hill without looking back, knowing full well that the distance will go to my head if I do. Soon I get to the top, the sooner this whole thing will be over, I'll be back at a reasonable height. Once I tap go, I'm speechless for a while. The view is magnificent. The rock on which I'm perched offers a splendid panorama over a frozen lake below. This one glistens in the sunlight and is a gigantic horror mirror. As long as I don't look directly below me and ignore the emptiness, this place is really a little wonder. While I'm busy contemplating the view, conjuring cuts off any sense of awe by dropping the animal's corpse. The more time I spend here, the more I realize that the romanticism of songs will have trouble getting through to this audience. So what do you think of the view? It's really beautiful, but couldn't we have looked at it from a little lower? I'm having trouble with the altitude and all that. What are you afraid of heights too? I grumble before dropping to the ground just so I don't get dizzy anymore. Now I got to talk about my physical weakness the day before. No way I'll listen to that again. Let's change the subject if you don't mind. You were telling me about the gods earlier. Now that's very interesting discussion. And as usual, I'm showing an incredible talent for subtly diverting the conversation. Look like here and there, but I'm fine with changing the topic. 100 grams the bow handle of his knife begins to skin the beast before my eyes. I can only look away. It's far too strange to watch him cutting up another stag. Not to mention that it's not exactly the most pleasant sight. The noises are more than enough to make me shiver. Ugh. What makes you think we're more than intelligent animals than our ability to kill? Some people think it's an animal instinct that is known for predators, but I'm living proof that it's not limited to them. So my question is, do the gods give me this ability or does it come with intelligence? Do they give us the ability to choose our path by making us capable of deep thoughts? You know what it's like to be a herbivore or prey. You know how I can feel. Isn't that just an excuse not to change and tell ourselves that the gods made us this way? I know what it's like, but that doesn't mean I want to kill others. Besides, I still have instincts that rabbits generally have, so I'm not convinced that I have a choice in the path I want to follow. Although thinking about it, my training yesterday proved to me that it is possible to go against my nature, maybe on help me break free from those constraints, only temporarily. And by the way, speaking of him, the change of subject is going to seem a bit abrupt, but something intrigues me. Go ahead, anyway, we have time to spare. There's still some cutting to do. Lovely, but let's say I don't understand the interest you and the prince have in me. Am I missing something? It's true that he invited you in his little sparring session. Well, I can't speak for the prince, but as far as I'm concerned, it's more curiosity than anything else. Besides, among all the candidates and contexts, you're the one who annoys me the least for now. I guess that's a compliment coming from a kind. Sort of. I smile and tilt my head, equally curious to hear more about his opinion of me. Don't get too confident. Between that annoying diva and the colorful cunt with a broom up his ass, it's not hard to be tolerable. Oh, I see, you've met NeveN. It's in his nature to be unpleasant. Don't worry about him. It's in my nature too. Doesn't mean I piss everyone off. Once the hunter's grievances aren't directed at me, and I don't intend to complain about it. Besides, if he wins, I won't be the only commoner with a important position in the castle anymore. And I like that. Someone else will have to suffer the crazy whims of the nobles. Means I won't waste my time with them anymore. Oh, what kind of crazy whims do I expect exactly? Ooh, if you only knew. The other day, King Lust told me that McKayan Diplomat wanted me to hunt a mink and bring back its fur. Do you know what he did with it when I brought it back? No, but please go on. He used it to wipe his arse. I can tell you, Les and I were pretty damn surprised when we heard about this. I wind my eyes and start to giggle. Vakad joins me and tries to keep his composure while resuming his activity. Resuming his story. A whole fucking day of hunting to find something to clean his ass is a good thing. The king quickly put him in his place while I have to do this every day. Oh, so you still tolerate the kings? I thought you were annoyed by all the nobility. They aren't noble about really being noble. They treat me like an equal. So yes, they are special, but not in a bad way. Let's just say they're bearable, like you for now. I think I can see what you mean. As my training with the prince, I can safely say he is unpredictable. He has a lot to prove. It's not easy to follow the path of his adopted fathers. Successful warlord. Something tells me he's going to want his big moment too. You should be careful around him. I raise my eyebrows, questioning for Kaibo's look as I try to figure out what he knows about the bear. Be careful. I doubt he's dangerous. Well, not to me anyway. He's pretty good natured and not stupid from what I've seen of him. Oh, I don't doubt it. But he's got ambition, power, and a pretty tough opposition in front of him. He's going to want to prove something sooner or later. I try not sure what to make of it. Clearly the bear can be a bit of an asshole, but he's also some good side. However, I realize something rather strange. You talk a lot about the others, but who exactly is Vakad? Instead grimaces and gives a good stab to slice cleanly through one of his game legs. Vakad is nobody. I always so demand that one. I rest my elbows on my knees, then put my chin on my paws to better observe him. The hunter looks up for a moment and seems puzzled by my sudden interest in him. What is true? What is true? Even I have no idea who the fuck I am. For a moment I think the bug is making a joke while keeping a perfectly serious look on his face, but he grunts when he sees that I'm waiting for the punchline. I don't remember anything. I don't even know how I got here. All I know is that I'm good at what I do. Oh, so that's why he's so focused on the whole hunting thing. It's sad to think, but it may be the only thing he has left from his past. Sorry, I didn't mean to. That's you think that hurts me? You don't know me well enough. Here, start forming the skin. It will keep you busy. The stag throws the bloody skin at me. I hold back a grimace to comply. I want to take back absolutely everything I was thinking this morning. Today is clearly no better than yesterday. No, I'm grateful to you for showing me all this, and I think I could return the favor my own way. God absolutely doubts my ability to teach him anything given the judgmental look he gives me. Erik, it's time to show what you're made of. I can teach you how to be likable, but I have a couple of techniques that make sociability within your grasp. I take a mocking look as I say this, which draws a chuckle from the hunter. This is a lost cause. I don't need to be social besides. I don't care what other people think of me. Oh, come on. Give me a chance to do something for you with my many talents. For a moment, I think back to NeveN and the way he explained things to me through music. Could I do the same thing with the cat and hunting? There are many predators that hunt in packs, so sociability is also useful for you. Just because they are not good enough to hunt alone. I wasn't talking about hunting literally. I don't know. Though you want to settle down, you could find love or even just have someone by your side for other reasons than hunting. What other reasons? I have the good reflex to slap my forehead because complete innocence as to what I'm trying to explain to him. Naturally, all the blood that's on the skin I was folding comes squirting all over my muzzle. I let out a squeal of disgust and gather all my leaves as I can to wipe my face while I hear smiling out coming from Picard. At least my misery is amusing to others. I guess that's better than nothing. Okay, I'll give you that. It can be fun to hunt with someone else. That wasn't really the message, but it's a start, I guess. The stab begins to gut the carcass, scavenging what he needs and throwing away the rest. He empties the bowls in front of me, which makes me gag both from the smell and the sound. I already picked the worst time to discuss romance and other aspects of being a relationship. Are you going to tell me that you really have no other need than to hunt? I eat and sleep like everyone else, nothing insane. If he keeps this up, he's really going to make me say it out loud. Not that I don't mind, but it's so obvious that it would occur to me that he'd avoid the subject without meaning to. You know, when two people really, really like each other, they fuck, sure. About time. So let me get this right. We have to leave people alone. You are intrusive, but when they need explanations, you beat around the bus. I must say it was kind of fun trying to get you to guess that. I'm surprised it didn't occur to you sooner. Besides, I can't imagine you're not successful in this area. I'm not really looking for it though. It'll come when it comes. Well, you want, I'm sure I can help you hunt then. I heavily emphasized the word this time, and I wiggled my eyebrows at him with a lecherous look. Hopefully that will be enough to make him understand the metaphor this time. Yeah, we'll see. But for now, the hunter stuffs the offal into her bag, leaving the rest of the corpse there. Devour while he runs down the slope. He is always so abrupt when it comes into the discussing. Hey, wait for me, I have short legs. I try to keep up, but at the last moment I realize how high up I am, and I suddenly get dizzy. Oh crap. Grab something and working quickly. My momentum combined with the dizziness causes me to stumble right towards the bug I can only catch myself on its antlers. So here I am, hanging there with a small embarrassed smile on my face as Picard stares at me with a jaded look. I hope that's not your hunting technique. He sneers and finally grabs me by the hips to put me on the ground before continuing on his way with a different air. I know you won't believe me, but it was pure accidental. And who says it's you that I want to hurt, If he wants to play hard to get, I can return the favor. I'm not an easy rabbit. I certainly don't need teenage fun techniques. No, sir. When I want to seduce someone now that I deploy methods that are close to art, I'm a maestro of courtship and of what comes after as well. Besides, not that I'm partially opposed by him. He's pleasant to the eye, certainly, but he has a particularly bad temper. I have a problem to keep. You have to know how to hunt for real before you can think about hunting me. This whole mouthful is getting a little tangled, but if it makes you feel any better, it wasn't a pickup attempt. Sure. I can feel all of Picard's perplexity in his voice, so much so that I don't even need to see his face to understand that he doesn't believe me. I sigh heavily and shake my head. Once upon trying to convince him otherwise anyway, this guy is as stubborn as a mule. Believe what you want, if it flatters your ego. You talk 2 months, I'm hungry, no time to think about anything else. Fuck, what does that bother me? It's not like I fell on him on purpose. It's all the more annoying because Picard doesn't seem at all embarrassed or even amused by the situation. He just goes about his day as if nothing happened. I feel like I kept pouting in his corner. Again, only the sounds of nature break the silent and monotonous stroll. And all inside with belief as I see the matriculation of the Capitol's towers in the distance. I really hope I'll have time to catch a breath today. Let's get back to the castle. Picard nods at me while dropping his messy bags. It wasn't bad for the first time. You still have to learn, and you well. Besides, the discussion wasn't unpleasant either. I'm stunned for a compliment. I stunned for a moment, then I smiled frankly at him. His compliments half-heartedly, but he compliments nonetheless. I'm not the only one who still has a lung, but I can see efforts are made. Thank you for the tremors of corporate horns. Finally. He raises his eyes to the sky. It's been a while since he did that. Instead of talking nonsense, take that. The hunter rummages through his belongings and pulls out a string she stuffs into a small purse before handing it to me. I'll teach you how to make strings yourself, but for now, just take it. I don't know whether to look forward to spend more time with him or to regret in advance the fact that I would have to handle the guts of an animal. Either way, he deserves my thanks. So I'm looking forward to it. And thanks for this. I'll tell Akhet that it's thanks to you that he'll have a flute like new. Yeah, I'm just doing my job. Go away now. I need to rest. Have a nice day. With that friendly exchange, I hop happily back to my room, and then getting to know new people might be more pleasant than expected. I noticed a few looks that are strange to say the least. As I walk through the castle, strange and not very positive. Do I have something on me or what? I look down and oh fuck. It seems that breath of a cat has had quite the effect on my clothes. Wait, that's the second time I've come back that cast with blood marks on my clothes. I'm quickly going to have a bad reputation this way. I need to change and wash myself properly, not just for a few leaves this time. Which reminds me, when I was exploring the place yesterday, I saw that there were hot baths in the basement. I guess I could kill two birds with one stone, clean myself and relax. Hopefully I have good company and some eye candy to look at. Despite my promise to wear guard, there is nothing to stop me from indulging my desires by looking at nice-looking males. Invigorated by this idea, I walked with a much quicker step up to my room to get something to wear and drop off the stained clothes. Once on the stairs, however, a sudden sound stops me. I can hear the ringing of a small bell echoing the courtyard, rung as vigorously as possible. Odd, I don't think I've heard that before. However, I was out on the streets yesterday at this time, so I guess this explains it. Maybe it is a way to wake up those who are still asleep, or maybe a way to signal that the meal is ready. I'll just have to ask someone later. Right now, washing myself is a more pressing matter. The basements are here, and I think it has something to do with what heats the rest of the city. But could it be? Another question I have to think about asking at some point. But the baths themselves are pretty well organized. They are separated into two sections. One filled with small basins for washing up, while the other is occupied by larger pools meant for bathing. What is truly strange is the suit and burnt stone on the wall in front of the door leads to the pools. It's an odd place to put for a fire-related incident, I must admit. Guessing there's a story connected to this, probably even related to Knock. Now that I think about it, given the size of his brain, he must be able to set an entire wall on fire if he wants to. That said, before I can enjoy a bath, I'm going to have to wash up a bit. I undress as quick as I can before wrapping up one of the towels hanging against the wall around my hips. Let's keep it decent, at least for now. Lined up against one of the walls, there are about 10 small buckets filled with water, and a few soaps are available to all. I grab one of the buckets and start wetting my face up when I hear a thud from behind the door that leads to the bath. Oh, fuck. The door swings open with a bang and a jet of flames crash against the already as black wall. I feel like my hair is scorching from the heat. Within seconds, I would have been caught in that furnace, and all that would have been left of me is a loose rabbit. It's getting to be a few times I've narrowly escaped that kind of situation in 3 days. Warren and Frostfang will end up killing me soon. So much for the grandchildren you want me to have, Rhaegar. A few seconds later, I hear a loud splashing sound, followed by a high-pitched whistle and a jet of steam escapes through the door. What in organized name is going on in there? I approach the door as cautious as I can. I have no desire to get fired, but I really like to know what happened. Anybody there? What, Erik? What are you doing here? To knock? A little bit absurd by the presence of Lisa, I step into the room to try to see something. That's not exactly an easy task. A thick layer of steam diminishes my field of vision, and I can barely see a mirror in front of me. Getting a location the fact that I'm wearing a towel, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm doing here. Didn't you hear the bell? What kind of question is that? Yes, I did. But I'm having a really hard time seeing what that has to do. You almost burned my ass just now. As I reach the center of the room, I can finally see the bath itself, and standing in the center of it is Tanakh, completely naked, and of course the damn steam is blocking my view. I begin to think that the gods really hate me. Didn't anyone tell you about what? That the baths catch fire from time to time? All I hear is a sigh. What little I can see, but Tanakh seems to take on an apologetic look. Shit, I guess I could have told you myself, but people must have thought I did since you in the castle with me. Tonight I'm seriously going to need some more explanations. Sorry. It's just that when the bell rings in the corridor, it's to signal that I'm coming down here to train with my plan. As you've seen, it can be dangerous for others to be in the same place as me, and the water basins allow for the excess flame issues to be addressed if needed. Indeed, it would have been useful information to have a little earlier. Now, I could have asked what the bell in question meant when it rang. But hey, if I can get a little favor from Elizabeth by exaggerating a little, I'm not going to pass up the opportunity. No one's hurt. I guess that's good enough. Now, I have to admit that my fur is a bit thin. Are you going to make it up for that? Tanaka gives me a surprised look before grinning as he slowly moves in my direction. Oh, I do have some ideas on how best to make it up to you, and I don't doubt for a second that you will like it. Now we're talking. Really? And what do you have in mind, Mr. Ambassador? He walks to the edge of the pool before holding out his paw to me. I was expecting me to grab it. I've worn up all this war. It would be a shame not to enjoy it. I prefer my baths cold, but if it still enjoys such a pleasant company, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I need to spend a lot of time thinking about what I should do here without the slightest hesitation. I grab his paw and drop my towel. I don't know if the steam is blocking his view as much as it does mine, but even if it isn't, I've never been against making a show of myself. I feel him briefly devour me with his eyes before guiding me into the bath, allowing me to join him in the water. The latter hot almost to the point of being unbearable, but I'm willing to boil a little. In the immediate future, have slightly more interesting concerns. I slip into the water, submerging myself and sit on the stone bottom with just my head sticking out. John does the same in front of me, so that we can both look at each other. We hope that you will enjoy that excuse. It's going to start, but I expect more. Oh, Mr. Fluffy Butt is demanding. I see, but I don't doubt for a second my ability to find a way to satisfy your desires. I don't need to see his face through the steam to understand what he applies. But the gods I managed to find someone even less subtle than me. Unfortunately for tonight, I'm a master at this little game, and I'm absolutely in the mood to give him a little lesson. I let myself slide as much as possible into the bottom of the pool while stretching my legs in front of me, accidentally rubbing them against Tanak's. Well, if you really want, to make up for it a little more, I have my own idea of an excuse. I feel his leg quiver under my touch, while his grin I see through the steam seems to wane even more. Oh, really? What is this wonderful little idea, Run my paw up his leg, gently caressing his thigh before straightening up as if nothing happened. Well, I must confess to being very curious about what happened here before I arrived. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? With a brief moment of silence for a second, I wonder if I pushed the envelope a little too far. Your knock is clearly not into protocol and all that, but you still are Nova after all. Fortunately for me, the ambassador burst out laughing a few seconds later. You little tempter. I guess I deserve that though. I appreciate the advances, and I know we boss have a reputation, but you didn't think it would be that simple, do you? Did you? You already told me you didn't want an easy win after all. One can drink, but I don't mind. Your resistance only makes the reward more exciting. And who says there will be a reward? Another will be. So you're full of confidence from what I can see. Not that I don't like it, quite the opposite. Well, let's calm down, Simon. I know that war and steam hide a lot of things, but let's not take unnecessary risks. So what kind of questions do you want me to ask? Huh? So what kind of questions do you want to ask me? Oh yeah, right. I did say that. It probably would have been better if I had questions to ask. Think before you speak next time, Simon. Come up with something fast. Oh yes. It was that. It's just that, considering the size of your brain, I didn't really expect you to need to practice. You should be able to do pretty much wherever you want with fire, right? It's a little more complicated than that. Just not have a brain makes you miss some information. Wait a minute. How does you know I don't have a brain? I don't exactly make it a secret, but I don't think I ever told him. I don't remember telling you that. You're not spying on me, are you? I enjoy attention, but I have my limits. Oh no, what's the sir? You're cute. You're cute. But that, what's the sir? You're cute. But not that cute. It's just that at this point there's a weasel who spent a lot of time bitching about you. I was able to glean some information by listening very carefully. And of course he did that. I'll have to calm him down sooner or later. If possible by humiliating him a little, by humiliating him a bit in the process that would be deserved. You should know what he says. He holds a personal grudge against me. I thought so, yes. I don't know what he did to him, but he's clearly angry with you. Tonight chuckles when I roll my eyes at the ceiling. And that reason really decided to ruin my life. But to answer your question, that's not exactly how plans work. Actually, the fact that it's so big requires more training on my part. Well, obviously, primarily, it's raw power. I'm able to create the greatest flames ever seen in African memory. But that also means that if I lose control of it, I'm capable of causing enormous destruction. I would like to point out, however, that so far I've only caused one accident, and we expanded my brother's room when we fixed it. So I really don't see why he's still complaining about it. You set your brother's room on fire? I accidentally set fire to my brother's room. Yes. On the other hand, it's all his fault. I had just received my brand, and he spent 10 minutes yelling at me under the pretext that I stole this place as head of the family. Hold on, slow down a bit, will you? You taking your brother's place in your family's assassin? Oh, of course, I have a brand of organ after all. I expect more explanation, but obviously the laser's done. What could this guy possibly have to do with this whole situation? Tanaka? Yes? Can you elaborate? I keep forgetting that your kingdom functions differently. I'm sorry, it's a bit long to explain though. I might as well start at the beginning. Do you know what the difference is between an African of your kind and a lizard? The scales? I guess I should have seen it coming. I have a hard time not making jokes when they are so obviously offered. That's the only type of hard time you're going through right now, is it? You got one more eyes. Does he ever stop? Keep your own harness where it belongs, Ambassador, and go on with your explanation. I'll try to make an effort. More seriously, the difference between us is our origin. Although we are both Africans, our ancestors differ. What do you mean? Your ancestors were simple animals, beasts without an advanced intellect, on which the gods put their brains, making them conscious. Our ancestors are, however, quite different. They aren't mere animals. They were once the masters of fire and sky. We lizards are the children of dragons. His voice rings with pride and a touch of arrogance because, of course, Mr. Ambassador must have better ancestors than everyone else. I thought dragons were just a legend. Just because something disappeared doesn't mean it never existed. You see, dragons are the first creations of the gods, the oldest creatures Tesla has ever known, and like animals, they were always intelligent, even capable of using magic without a brand. Unless they were also proud and arrogant. How surprising. Tonight's ancestors were proud and arrogant? I would never have guessed. It's basically impossible to attribute those personality traits to him. Nah. So much so that one day they tried to defy the very gods. That sounds like a perfectly reasonable idea. I take it that if they did not go as planned, well, crab or deductive mind. I sense a slight disapproval in his voice. It sounds like tonight doesn't take too kindly to criticism of his alleged ancestors. I better remember that. He's in a jury after all. As punishment for their attempted rebellion, the gods tore the wings off the dragons, removed their ability to use magic with a brand. So we were born. I must admit that I have never heard this story. Does this legend come from the Empire? It is not a legend, it is history. The history of my blood and my country. So I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that here dragons are seen as monsters made up for the tales and legends we tell children. Don't worry. It takes more than that to upset me. But it's true that I love the Empire's history. It comes with so many great things, you cannot deny the existence of these achievements. Like conquering half the continent, at least like Makai, you don't enslave your enemies, I guess. Well, that's all very nice, but it doesn't explain to me how you took your brother's place in his succession. That's fairly simple to explain. If you determine your heirs by whoever is the eldest children in the family, we determine ours based on their brands. The closer it brings us to a well-dragged, the higher up the line of success we are, and of course the best possible brand is. He spreads his hands in for a brief moment. I can see an orange glow behind him as well as under the water, where his tail is. The two flames then shoot out from his back briefly before taking the form of bat wings before disappearing, all on his brand. And Gas at the sight of such a feat of power. I must admit that he knows how to be impressive when he wants to. So Harper wasn't the happiest when I would see my brand. Harper's your brother, right? My older brother, yes. I'm actually the youngest of my whole family. Oh, and how big is your family? There's my mother and father, of course, the three concubines, my three brothers, and my four sisters, plus half a dozen nephews and nieces. That's only close family. And then people bring up the reproduction rate of rabbits. At least I'm an only child. So if I get it right, you are now in charge of this whole family just because of your brand. Exactly, but I'm going to make sure I tell them that I deserve it. That it's not just my luck that I won this place. I suppose Harper didn't take it well. Were you able to reconcile? Janelle expressed in darkness for a brief moment. Not really, but at least he accepts my new position. Appreciate he just doesn't appreciate what happened. I think he hates me. That would almost be a fine coincidence. We're both hated by someone who feels we stole their spot. At least, as far as I'm concerned, he's not a family member. Sorry about that. Well, you can't please everyone, I guess, and he'll get over it eventually. I guess that's one way to look at it. It's not really something I have any experience with after all. But enough chit-chat about me. I have to admit that I'm also curious about our little bunny here. Seriously? Even him? I have other characteristics than my size. I'm afraid my story is far less interesting than that of my foreign ambassador. Everyone has something to tell, but since you asked about my family, you can't blame me for asking about yours, I suppose. This might be a lot shorter than your whole dragon thing. I am all that's left of my family. Oh, sorry. Why? It's not like you had anything to do with it. Besides, it's been a while. I never even knew my parents. I heard they were good people, that's it. Which didn't stop my asshole father from taking over and never coming back when I was 2. It was my grandfather who raised me and made me an amazing rabbit you see before your very eyes. I lean in as far as I can without dipping my snout directly into the warm American bow. At least I get a little chuckle this time. It's reassuring to see that I'm able to entertain the ability of Kazar after all. I say he didn't do too bad with Joe, though a few things to improve, but not essential. But you said you were all that's left of your family, so I guess. Yeah, he died when I was 16. That's when I decided that since nothing was tying me to my hole in the mountains anymore, it was time for me to explore the world a bit. And I say I didn't do too badly. Look at me semi bad with the ambassador of the Khazar Empire and the royal palace of Phosphate. There, perfect. A nice little story, just sad enough not to ask questions that bear humor to divert attention. This way, I'm sure no one will ask me why I really left. You know, you could be in a much better situation if you finally agreed to sell something other than a bath with said ambassador. Perfect. Much less whiskey subject, one that I'm much more comfortable with. Tempting, really. But I would hate to wish a different incident. After all, how do you know what another man's reaction will be when he realizes he's not as skilled as his partner? Be careful not to overestimate yourself, Fluffy, but I also have quite a bit of experience in this domain. Janak, my dear, there are two things in life I have mastered perfectly. The first thing is singing, the second is fucking. You wouldn't stand a chance. Is that a challenge? Because I'm absolutely up for it. His tail slowly comes up. His tail slowly comes to wrap around my ankle, moving up my leg, which is far from unpleasant. Rago, I really appreciate you, I do, but right now I'll strangle you for that damn promise you want me to keep. Again, it's really tempting, but unfortunately, I already have my afternoon taken, and you probably know better than anyone that good things take time to come. After all, it would be a shame to rush and finish too quickly, right? I stick my tongue at him before pulling my leg back, freeing it from the grip of his tail. If he keeps this up, promise or not, I don't think I'll be able to hold back much longer. Indeed, but I know how to be as patient as necessary. We'll finish where we start eventually. Just wait until the contest is over. Then we'll get down to business, you and me. We spend the next few minutes just relaxing in the water, exchanging pleasantries. It's nice to be able to let loose a little like that. After the last few days, it's really welcome. The steam is disappearing as we talk, and I can feel the water starting to cool down slightly as well. I think that's a sign it's time for me to get out. Now, it wouldn't really be fun to just get out of the water. I can still have a little fun at tonight's expense. So many possibilities, though. It's hard to pick just one. Might as well continue on what I started. Let the poor lizard imagine what I look like down there without giving him anything more than necessary. I very much appreciate a hot bath and a conversation, but I'm afraid I have to go. However, I do have a small favor to ask of you. It's nothing. I'm sure you won't mind. Anything you want. Perfect. You see, we are among civilized people here, and I would be very upset to impose my nudity on a noble, even more so the ambassador of Kazal. Could you just cover your eyes, please? I assure you that I have no problem with your nudity. Plus, I lean in and giving him a look for a sexual innuendo. It would be a shame to spoil the surprise before the big day, don't you think? I had the satisfaction of seeing a brief moment of surprise on his face before he lets outside, lifting his palm to place it in front of his eyes. I guess I can't do anything against an argument like that, and I promise not to cheat. He laughs amused, and I do the same as he steps out of the pool, wrapping a towel around my hips. You can open your eyes. I'm decent again. What a shame. Are you sure I don't get a little peek? Patience, my dear, patience. Everything comes to him who knows how to wait. I head towards the exit by exaggerating my hip sway. All smiles. Sorry, me again, Layer? I'm going to rehearse a bit with a cat right now. It will be a pleasure. I step out of the bathing room, mentally preparing myself for the 20 minutes it will take to dry my fur. I'm not sure about the last arrangement. Maybe just turn up a bit. My voice is not very deep. Practice with the cat went as well as it could be expected, considering that we have never played together before. You can't expect perfection the first time around, after all, especially considering we come from two totally different nations when it comes to musical taste. But despite that, I know we were really good. We will get even better by the time the competition starts. I don't see who could possibly compete with us. Anyway, we'll see tomorrow. Right now I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything since this morning. I have to admit that I wouldn't mind a little something to eat too. And suppose the kitchens don't open. It better be the case. I'd kill for a salad right now. We get out of the room, and I take some time to stretch. For all that, I love to sing. Spending several hours rehearsing and doing the same things over and over can be time-consuming. But if it helps me win, it's more than worth it. I'm pretty glad you offered to team up. I never really had a partner that's quite nice, I must say. You were performing by yourself at your Joe's house, right? That's right. And in Akhet, we see music more as a background thing, something to give an atmosphere to discussions. It's rather we really sing and dance during our receptions. Except when it's a ball specific for that, and it's customary to hire well-known artists. Yeah, well, your parties sound like a boy, no offense. He raises his talents in front of his beak to hide a small laugh. Yeah, that's cute. I guess you're not entirely wrong. You do seem to have a hard time staying calm compared to McCain's, that's for sure. You haven't seen anything yet. Wait until you get to your first party. Then we'll have some real fun. I don't know, and this is a good idea. I don't handle alcohol very well. All the more reason to participate. You can relax a bit this easy. You can relax a bit this way. He looks away, blushing slightly. I don't know if he remembers the last time he was drunk or if the thought of being drunk for the first time makes him react that way. But one thing is for sure now. I definitely need to get this bird drunk. When we finally get to the kitchens, I'm surprised to see that we're not the only ones who want to eat at this hour. Gilead and Akhet are also there, having already taken something to fill their plates. To my surprise, the panther always wears his male mask even when he eats. I know he's probably from a good bodyguard to always be ready school, but still. Does he sleep with that thing on his face too? I part ways with Akhet briefly, leaving him to rummage through the carnivorous options of what's been prepared while I search for vegetarian dishes. Not that I couldn't eat meat if I wanted to. We evolved from our animal ancestors and are able to eat wherever we want now. It's just that I find it, well, to be honest, that was disgusting. And I'm not the only one. There are very few herbivores who voluntarily eat meat. Taken by a sudden burst of curiosity, I glanced in the direction of Akhet's plate. If there's anyone who must be fond of meat among herbivores, it must be him. I'm almost surprised to see him eat a simple little salad. Looks like he hasn't adopted the entirety of a hunter's habits. He seems to have caught my inquisitive look, though. What's he looking at, pray? Oh, nothing. I was lost with my thoughts, that's all. Don't do that around here. Nobody likes a nosy brat. Sorry, but I'm extremely likable, no matter how nosy I am. I quickly finished filling my plate before coming to sit across from Akhet, motioning for Akhet to sit next to me. You don't mind if I sit here? If I tell you yes, you will leave? Nah. So why do you ask? To be nice? You should try it sometime, dear. Akhet simply rolls his eyes as his only response. Given the number of times he's having my presence, I'm becoming more and more convinced that this is his way of saying he likes me. I can't find a line to sit by my side, nodding politely to Akhet. Have a nice meal, Lord Akhet. Just Akhet, I'm no lord. Oh, sorry, I have a nice meal, Akhet. A long silence follows. Right, these two really have a knack for killing the conversation when they want to. Luckily, I have one more ace up my sleeve to try and save this dinner from absolutely unbearable silence. Hey Gilead, no reason to sit alone and sulk in your corner. Join us here. The bodyguard seemed to take a second to think about it before struggling to come and sit next to Akhet. Nice, great. I have to admit that I was expecting more resistance than that, but I'm not going to complain. This day will have been full of surprises too. My astonishment must be sown though, because Gilead is giving me an inquisitive look. What, you look surprised? Want to be honest, I expected more cooperative from you. I was ready to use all my charm to lure you here. I don't know who you think I am. I'm just like everybody else. I like to relax when I'm off doing evil people. It makes me feel good. Excuse me, but that's not exactly the impression you give. If you had asked me before, I would have told you that you were probably the type of guy who relaxes by breaking rocks with his bare paws or something like that. No offense, but you make a hell of a first impression. It's hard to imagine you relaxing. I'm still hoping I'm impressed. That's part of my job after all. We can at least give you that. You're good at what you do. I'm as proud of my work as you are yours. Might as well do it as professionally as possible. A qualm of approval comes from Picard's throat. Is that a way for the two of them to compliment each other? But you're not undoing that, are you? Couldn't you take your helmet off a little bit? I'm sure it would help make you more approachable. No. You never take it off? No. If these aren't detailed answers that allow me to move forward in discussing, I don't know what is. You're wasting your time since I've been here. I've never seen him without this thing. I don't think anyone's ever seen him without it. Don't be ridiculous, of course. I've been seeing without my helmet. I've shown my face to the kings. I've offered them the respect they deserve. Speaking of the kings, how come we haven't seen them yet? I wasn't expecting a personal welcome, but we should have run into them in the hall by now. They're just not here. When the competition is only 3 days away, if you don't mind me asking, where are they?
Self-voicing the same.
When the competition is only 3 days away, if you don't mind me asking, where are they? Gillian lets out a long sigh, but it doesn't seem to be the way that I can't. My lords take days off from time to time. The prince takes care of the castle in their presence. They have a secondary residence in the woods, a location of which is known only to them, their hair, and myself. This allows them, according to their own words, to relax the pressure and thus be better able to rule. What can they possibly be doing for a few days straight in the woods? A familiar voice whispers right next to my ear. They fuck. A high-pitched squeal escapes my lips as I flinch in my chair. By the time I get myself together, I can see the cat snickering softly across from me. My cat at my side seems to be holding back from doing the same. At least Gillian doesn't look like he's making fun of me. To knock. Hey there, Bunny. Consider this payback for what you put me through earlier. He laughs softly, while Gillian sighs again. Lord, to knock, a little bit of respect would be appreciated. You are talking about our kings. What? It's not like it's a secret that there's not a ton of things married couples do when they go to a cabin in the woods by themselves. And I already told you to forget about the whole lore thing. Carry my name slowly enough. As if I've already pointed out to you as well, it would be disrespectful to your position. To not sighs before giving me an insistent look. We're already have to work on relaxing him a bit. We? What, do you want to give me a hand? You know I'm right here, and I can hear you. Tanat turns to the panther and offers a big smile which causes Gillian to roll his one moving eye. When do the kings expect to return from their vacation? Tomorrow, maybe 2 days at the most. You better believe you'll know when they're there. Aeon is everything but discreet. He likes to let people know when he's here. That's my kind of king. He enjoys a good show. That's one way of looking at it, I guess. Come on, Gillian. Even you have to admit that Aeon tends to overdo it sometimes. His Majesty, Aeon, has the right to behave as he wishes. The panther then looks away as if embarrassed by what's following. But I must admit that my work would be greatly simplified if my lord knew how to restrain himself from time to time. There he is. You see, it's not so difficult when you are able to take a jab at royalty. The knock starts to chuckle as I feel myself quickly join him. I can see Akhet doing the same from the corner of my eye. Akhet lets out one of his amused grunts, and I can see that Gillian seems to be smiling under his helmet. Not that the situation is particularly funny, but it's just nice to be surrounded by companions like this and be able to sing some jokes around a table. It's almost like I'm in a band again. I didn't realize how much I missed it, and it's only been a few days. That nice moment is interrupted, however, by someone giving us a series of small, cheerful taps on the table just enough to get noticed. When I turn my head, I can see a hyena about my age leaning on the table with a big smile on his face. Once he's made sure he got our attention, he points at both Akhet and me. I spent out a while looking for you two. Looking for us? Why? Is there a problem? Well, no. In fact, it's quite the opposite. With the competition coming up soon, the rest of us figured that everyone could use a break from all the stress. So we're having our little party tomorrow night in the courtyard. We're going to have a blast and keep all those nobles awake. He laughs loudly before turning to the knock. No offense, my lord. As if I intended to sleep while you're out having fun. I will party with you. He bursts out laughing, quickly joined by the hyena. Perfect. And you two will join us? That depends. I have my own set of rules. Oh, really? Well, would there be alcohol? It wouldn't be a part of alcohol. In that case, I'm in, and Akhet will be there too. What? Alright, I'll be there. The falcon smiled silently. I may finally get a chance to see him relax a bit. I'm certainly not going to let this opportunity pass. Right, well, I'll let you finish eating. I still have people to inform. Enjoy your meal, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you to the party tomorrow, thanks. With a fluid movement, he turns around and walks out in the room almost hopping. He gives the impression of being a dancer with his grace. A real party, that'll do me good. I'll finally get a chance to let loose a little, have some fun, and vary the competition. Because I doubt a bunch of bards could hold back from singing at an occasion like this. So I have some scouting to do to see how good they are, and I will also try to impress them. But either way, it promises to be fun. Bard gatherings rarely mean boredom. I don't think I've ever attended an impromptu party like this. Do I have to bring something? Do I have to bring anything? That must be an appropriate outfit. I'm not sure I have the right attire. I interrupt Akhet before he can continue monologuing. Stop worrying. It's not anything formal. Just bring your lute and you'll be good. We'll just be there to sing, have fun, and drink. And make sure we don't end the night alone in the bed. To not burst out laughing as I once again go through a whole series of gradations. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was possible to blush that much. Not everyone's like you, scaly ass. Some of us prefer to sleep alone. Ooh, look at him pouting. Just come along too. I'm sure we'll find a way to have fun. You too, Gillian. I'll be there, but not for fun. An event like this is going to be an aberration in terms of security. I'll have to stay alert. Nah, not my thing. Yeah, buzzkill. Looks like it's just you and me tomorrow. He smiles out as he looks at Academy. I can't help but return the smile as the Falcon continues to look away, still with a face. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Something tells me it's not likely to be boring. I lay on the floor, gasping for air. It's over. I can't take it anymore. I regret all the decisions I've made at this point. But God's in my life, and please, try to make it quick. The only response I get is a long sigh from Gillian. He decided to drag it out, the bastard. Don't you think you're overreacting a bit? I just spent an hour running, lifting weights and bending in positions that are clearly not natural. I'm pretty sure you're trying to kill me very slowly. I'm trying to give you muscle, that's all. It won't hurt you in the long run. I'm a singer. I don't need muscle. Besides, can you imagine what I look like on the stage and my arms were the size of my thighs? Not to mention that I wouldn't be able to play and cute bunny twists to do someone anymore. That would force me to change my entire repertoire, and it's absolutely out of the question. You can be a singer and be able to carry more than 10 kilos, you know. I glare at him without any subtlety. I'm not that weak, I think. But honestly, that's enough for today. I wouldn't want to wear you out when you have a party to attend. Oh wait, there's a party tonight. I'll be able to let loose a little. That's actually very welcome right now. The last few days have been strange to say the least. John holds out his paw to help me up and I grab it. No more reason to lie on the floor. My diva complaints pay off. Once I'm up, I quickly dust myself off before looking back at the Panther. So you're planning to be there too? I told you yesterday, my man and I will be there to provide security, not to participate directly in the festivities. Too bad. We'll love to see you dance. I'm sure you have the moves. I'm the only one here interested in the idea, obviously. Do you think we will at least be able to see NeveN at a party? His Majesty NeveN has not yet informed me whether or not he will attend the festivities, but I assume he will show up, if only to keep an eye on what's going on. Maybe I'll get him to dance with me then. I wouldn't count on that, but I guess it's safe to try. To have the permission of the captain of the guard to invite the Crown Prince to dance? Perfect. After this exchange, we store the training equipment in silence. I'll never admit it to anyone, but I have to admit there's something nice about working out like this. So, sure, I'm exhausted, but it's a good fatigue. I think that's the word that best describes the feeling. Once I've put everything back in its place, I wave the girl out before heading off to my room. I know I told Akhet yesterday that no fancy clothes were necessary for the night, but that doesn't mean I don't have the right to embellish myself a bit for the occasion. I'm not going all out on the outfit, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice, is there? Not to mention out after the workout Gillian put me through, look one will be more than welcome. I may put out some decent shirts, not extravagant, just to look my best. Well, I made an effort, only pulling my second best shirt. I think that's a fine demonstration of my ability to hold back. However, I still have one more thing to do before I can join the others in the courtyard. I need to take a look at my favorite bird and make sure he's not freaking out in his room. If this really is his first time at a party, some tell me it promises to be a most interesting evening. As a knock on Akhet's door, I wonder if he took my advice from the night before to account, or if he still decided to dress up in a special way. Plus, I'm really curious to see a McKay and Polly outfit he puts one on. However, when the door opens, I'm almost dazzled for a few seconds. I think I can't spend a lot of time polishing the gold lines of his eyes, so that they are now signed very nicely. I guess there's another way for him to deal with stress. I guess this is another way for him to deal with stress. I don't know if it's better or worse than his monologues, though. Hey, I see you're glowing today. Tell you didn't spend all day spelling your lines. Well, not all day, no. I'll settle for that. Something tells me you spent more time on that I would consider reasonable. Let's not talk about that. About the time I spent trying to perfectly brush my fur. I have a good reason for doing all this. I need to look cute to do my job, though. I don't think this is too much, you know. I don't think this is too much, you know. Do you? I wouldn't want to look like I've all done it compared to everyone else. Nah, don't worry. And even if everyone notices you, what's the harm in that? Pay attention attention is what we do. And everyone is like you. On stage, it's one thing for people to look at me. When I'm just me, I prefer to be discreet. Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. For me, whether I'm on stage or not, I'm basically still being myself for the most part. I exaggerate my personality a bit from time to time, so I hide what I don't want anyone to see, like most people do, I believe. That being said, it provides a fairly simple fairly simple solution to Akhet's problem. Now in that case, just use me as a seal. If you feel that too many people are watching you, let me know. If there's one thing I'm good at is getting attention, and I like you, I love it. I give him a brief wink, and then have the pleasure of watching him laugh timidly, but I certainly have some interest in seeing my musician at his best before we perform. Before I also really want Akhet to have some fun now. Considering all we had to endure to get here, he deserves it. Ready to go then? I gotta tell you, if I don't have at least a pen in my son before we show what we can do, I'm gonna be pissed. So, are you going to drink before you sing? Of course. More in bed with a little alcohol in my blood. Akhet continues to look at me doubtfully as I give him my best smile. But God, this boy really needs to relax a little. As we walk down the palace corridors, I began to hear music coming from the corridor. Instinctively, I bobbed my head to see its beat. To hear to its beat. That's my domain out there. That's what I'm best at. I want to be there. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to get attention to be the main attraction. I want to be remembered. Once outside, I can see that the preparations of the party have begun. Minimal to say the least, there are just 3 tables stuck together to form a semblance of a stage and a bunch of barrels of alcohol in the corner of the courtyard. What I find much more interesting is the 20 or so people already there, my direct competitors, the other bars who came here to win the prize. There are dozens of species here from all over the kingdom, all joking and laughing with each other. I can even see an orca and a shark emptying a barrel together. There are felines, canines, rodents. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted the hyena who warned us yesterday that Chang, with that I assumed to be the other members of his troop, a badger and a Labrador. The moon is as light as it can be. Tonight we forget about the competition. We forget that we are opponents. We're just here to drink, laugh, and sing. That's the environment I feel most comfortable in. I turn to that cat who gives me a closer look. Is there a problem? He scratches the back of his head, searching for his words. I thought the party was in the courtyard. It is, but there's nothing, no buffet, no sand, no dancers, just empty tables. I think you and I have 2 very different ideas of what a party is. And then I alongside the confused look on his face before starting to push in the direction of the bells. There's not a party for nobles here. We are not here to applaud someone who's performing. We're here to have fun first and foremost. To have a good time while we still can. So do me a favor, will you? Have a drink and enjoy yourself. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to dance, dance. But if you want someone in your band, let me know. I'll be your wingman. I have the pleasure of seeing Akhet blush again. It's so easy. It's almost spoils the fun. Almost. Why, I think he stands for a moment before closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. I'm impressed. He manages to calm himself without any help. Looks like our little brother is looking to nest finally. I'll try to have fun your way. Well, not completely, but thanks for the offer. I don't think I'll do that last thing. Besides, I don't think many people really want to say relationship with me. I've never been very popular. What, a beautiful girl like you? I'm sure half the females here are just dying to pounce on you. Akhet blushes even more and looks around, almost as if he's about to be jumped on by a group of damsels in the heat. As well as a good chunk of the males too, that's more than you think. The falcon put his talons on his face to cover it, and I can hear a whimpering sound of embarrassment coming from his beak. Well, Erik, you had your fun. You keep it up, you will end up breaking him. Fortunately for Akhet, distraction soon arises in the form of an almost naked lizard holding a cup in each paw. I quickly grabbed the one offered to me, but Tanakh stuffs the other one in Akhet's fingers, and the bird almost jumps in surprise. Tanakh? Hey boys, I saw you two stand in the corner without any drink. I just had to remedy that situation. And thank you for that. I was trying to help Akhet relax, and I'm sure this will help. Was this really your way of trying to relax me? Okay, maybe I was having fun too. A little bit. But I was serious. Let's go and have fun. That's what we're here for. Tanakh brings his tail back in front of him, I can see that the end of it is right around a third cup that he is taking between his fingers. I didn't know it was prehensile. I wonder what else he can do. No, Eric, let's focus. It's not the time. I can only agree. Let's drink the parties and having fun. He raises his glass. I join him and am pleased to see Akhet do the same on his side. In unison, we take a sip to quench our thirst. However, as soon as the liquid touches my tongue, I realize that something's not right. Whatever is in my cup is clearly not beer. What I'm drinking is much sweet and spicy and absolutely delicious. Gulping it down quick as I usually do with my spirits will almost seem like an insult here. I mean, Akhet's gaze and he is just as surprised as I am. That's reassuring. At least I'm not the only one who finds it strange. He turns abruptly to the knock, waving the cup in front of him. Where did he get this naughty from? That what? Personal stance. Not to see someone who is able to appreciate as true value. I've got a barrel of it hidden near the bathhouse entrance as you want to refill. But don't tell anyone. An entire barrel? A single bottle costs a fortune. How could you get a whole barrel? Do I have to remind you who I am, little buddy? The cat opens to speak. This is the answer before finally falling silent. What's going on here? I feel like I'm missing some vital information. Wait, both of you. I want to be included in this conversation. I need to understand explanations now. The two men in front of me with a surprised look on their faces. Did they forget I was there? I'm going to start getting really irritated. Oh, sorry, Eric. It's just, well, tonight just gave us some naughty. And what's a naughty? It's the best wine in Canada, the only one whose production doesn't involve slaves. It is worth a lot of money. Now, you're exaggerating a bit. I would have to sell my loot to be able to buy a single bottle. What? And you have a whole barrel of it? Once again, y'all seem to forget who I am, Ambassador Kazal. Remember, the Emperor wouldn't let me come here without any resources. The Emperor gave you money to buy alcohol? Do not seem to hesitate briefly before looking away. Maybe I didn't tell him about this particular purchase. Well. It looks like the ambassador is hiding things from his country. In the end, everyone has their little secrets. Let me guess, this person is absolutely mandatory for your duties and absolutely not for trying to impress at parties. I have you know that I don't need this to impress anyone. It's just a little help. Offering alcohol to people is one of the most powerful tools of diplomacy. It's known. I'm pretty sure a bottle would have been enough for that. So all of a sudden, when it's to make fun of me, this one knows how to speak. The power of alcohol, I guess. I can't get to not an amused look, but I stand there, dumbfounded to see him respond to the letter with such pronounced. If it's really because he's been drinking, I'll have to offer him wine more often. Seeing him grow in confidence like that is a sight I can enjoy. Anyway, if your goal was to impress me, know that it doesn't work. Throwing money at me is not the way to get into my pants. I'm worth more than money can buy. I wouldn't even dare to say you're overpriced. But anyway, I've already found two lovely ladies ready to explore the mysteries of Kazal tonight. I'm afraid our little game of cat and mouse will have to wait. Ladies, I didn't expect tonight to play on both sides. I guess he's the kind of guy who likes to explore every possibility. However, before I can ponder the idea, a soft, crystal clear voice echoes through the courtyard. Good evening, may I require your attention for a brief moment? On the stage now stands a pool dressed in a beautiful gown and jewelry probably worth a good fortune. What's this all about? She's clearly noble. Besides, she looks quite familiar. I'm absolutely certain I've seen her somewhere before. First of all, I want to say that I appreciate your enthusiasm. I don't doubt for a second that we have the best our country has to offer in this courtyard. However, I'm afraid I must ask you to kindly withdraw from the contest organized by our leaders in the interest of the kingdom. What? What is he to say? I'm not the only one who's confused. Whispers and yells of indignation are heard in the crowd. Finally, the pool waits her pause to ask for calm. Quiet, please. Again, this is in no way an insult to your talents. As I told you, this is purely for the sake of our wonderful nation. You know what people think of our kingdom outside of our borders. You have seen us savages and barbarians. Having a drunken partygoer as a representative of our arts could only reinforce this opinion of us. I ask you to let someone of higher pedigree take that mantle. What the fuck do these things he is? It further weighs boiling me inside me as I almost wanted to get up on that stage and slap this idiot. Oh, she does more than thinking. She is a noble. She's not entirely wrong. Excuse me? I thought I heard you agree with her. But I must be wrong because that's a ridiculous idea. I don't like the way she puts it, but she's right about one thing. Your reputation is not exactly positive, to put it mildly. I'm sure it's not that bad, right, Cat? I turned to the Falcon, hoping for support from him, but all I get is a sorry look. I'm afraid it is, unfortunately. You are often made fun of, Erik. This is strangely disturbing. I knew that we were often considered more barbaric than our neighbors, but I didn't think you were so badly regarded. However, that doesn't justify her behavior. Whatever she believes, she has no reason to talk to us like that. I'm simply asking you to step down. I'm entering the competition myself, and I will win. I'm currently offering you an opportunity to leave without having to experience the humiliation of defeat. That's a good one. You're just hoping to get rid of the competition without having to fight for it, aren't you? You'll have to do better than that. The bull turns to the person who spoke and offers a condescending smirk, almost like a adult would smile at a child who asks a silly question. For my part, I'm waiting to see what happens. Something's not right, and I don't like it. She was clearly expecting that kind of remark. I guess there's a question I could leave. Perhaps actions will speak louder than words. Will a demonstration satisfy you? Without waiting for her answer, she raised her left arm and a soft bluish light shine to her dress. She just activated her brand. She exhales deeply, and steam escapes from her lips. While her snowflakes slowly appear, and a couple of swirls of ice form in the air. A brighter Huey, I guess she uses it to put on a show while she sings. I've seen it used that way a few times. Nothing too impressive. The ice forms an arch over her head and sparkles slightly when a light source shines upon it. It's as if we were suddenly thrown into a cave full of gems. And finally, the poodle begins to sing. For the first note, I understand that she wasn't kidding. Damn, she's really good. And she didn't pick the simplest song either. It's a religious chant with no lyrics, one of the most complex in this kind of repertoire, and she's mastered it perfectly. The goal is to convey an emotion that can reach the whole world, whether you speak a language or not. So this song relies entirely on the singer's technique. She manages to vary the bass and tremor with surprising virtuosity, without it ever sounding false. It is possible to find the slightest fault with her performance. On top of that, she manages to do it all while controlling her brand. As the song progresses, I feel anger was through me. All you can sing, if you can sing this well, you think you can win. What was that garbage of speech? Without waiting for an answer, she raised her left arm. A soft bluish light shines through her dress. She just activated her brand. She exhales deeply and steam escapes from her lips, while around her snowflakes slowly appear as a couple of swirls of ice form in the air. A brown Huey. I guess she's using it to put on her show while she sings. I've seen it used that way a few times, nothing too impressive. The ice forms an arch over her head and sparkles slightly when a light source shines upon it. It's as if we were suddenly thrown into a cave full of gems. And finally the pool begins to sing. From the first note I understand that she wasn't kidding. Damn, she's really good, and she didn't pick the simplest song either. It's a religious chant with no lyrics, one of the most complex in this kind of repertoire, and she's mastered it perfectly. The goal is to convey an emotion that can reach the whole world, whether you speak a language or not. So this song relies entirely on the singer's technique. She manages to vary the bass and treble route with surprising virtuosity without it ever sounding false. It's impossible to find the slightest fault with her performance, and on top of that, she manages to do it all while controlling her brand. As the song progresses, I feel anger rush through me. If you can sing this well, you think you can win. What was that garbage speech? Just show your talent. Prove to others that you are better than them, and win that way, not by telling them to go away and give it all up. Respect your colleagues. It's at the rubber end, the songstress finishes on a note so high that it causes the ice all around her to vibrate, eventually causing it to sound to a sound of droplets. If I weren't so furious, the show would probably be stunning. But absolute silence follows her performance. Good, I think I can leave you now. Think about what I just told you and enjoy your little party. Without waiting for a response, she elegantly steps off the stage, where I feel like I can hear my teeth cracking under the force which I clench my jaws. There's absolutely no way I'm letting her get away with this. Akhet on stage, now. What? Now! I don't give the bird time to answer. I just move as quick as I can towards the table serving as a stage. If that bitch thinks I'm going to let her go like that, she's in for a big surprise. I jump on one of the tables, and once I'm up, I slip 2 fingers between my lips and dial a high-pitched and sonorous a whistle as I can. I too know how to attract attention. Excuse me, missus. I feel all eyes swivel toward me, but right now the only one I'm interested in is hers. I am satisfied to see her return and give me a surprised look. What I didn't expect was to see it immediately replaced by a deep, intense hatred. Obviously, when I can't figure out where I know her from, she does remember me. No way to know why, but for now, that's not my problem. Had to put her in her place first, and it starts with a clap, slow and steady. Congratulations, I have to say. This has to be one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. Absolutely perfect, not the slightest flaw. Well, maybe one, a tiny little detail. It also has to be one of the most boring songs I ever heard. It's all very nice, but we're at a party. We are not here to listen to a religious choir. We're here to dance, drink, and have fun. And so we're here to pay tribute to life itself. So next time, try to choose a song that is appropriate for the situation. But surely, as you said yourself, actions speak louder than words. Will a demonstration satisfy you? Out of the corner of my eye, I see that Akhet has joined me on the stage, and I thank the gods for that. I then turn to a group of musicians not far away, who should have been the first to play on stage before all this drama. We're going to need help with the music. Do you mind? Just follow the beat of my musician and make sure everyone has a blast. That seems to snap them out of the torpor the pool's performance has put them in, and they nod their heads before joining us on stage. I then turn to Akhet. Small change of plan. We're going to show her how to have fun. Remember that pirate song we worked on? Oh no. Oh yeah. Don't worry, Birdie. It's going to be okay. Let's take this castle. And then turn back to the crowd, my best smile displayed on my face. Now it's time to do what I do best. You know, you get to hear a lot of the sea shanties in the coastal taverns. These folks really put their paws on land when they do this to party like their lives depend on it. Believe me, it's glorious to behold. So why not borrow one of their songs, dear friends? Let me sing you the story of Gregor. Did I choose a vulgar song on purpose? Absolutely. Is it just to make fun of that noble cunt? Obviously. With a sigh, Akhet begins to play, quickly joined by the other musicians. I mentally thank him for not hesitating any longer. I'll tell you the tale of a man who would sail, cross seas in search of a quest. His name was Gregor, and he had much fervor. Was he clever, nor was he the best. Prepared for the trip, Gregor met a large ship. He entered without his faithful crew. He wanted to glory, a nice little story, but found oars that yelled, "They screw!" Your old matey, there was no lady. When misfortune strikes, we drink to the health. Old Gregor the unlucky, who found no money, fell into the sea, now to his wealth. While fleeing the ship, he lost all his shit. His pants slid to the ground in his waist. With no delay, Gregor went away. Dismay displayed on his face. Lying in the distance, Gregor saw his existence as a king and emperor of his own poems. Free like animals without manacles. He met cannibals pointing to totems. The old maid, they felt pretty killing. When misfortune strikes, we drink to the health. Old Gregor the unlucky, who could end up bloody. It's not very funky, now to his health. His end was near, but Gregor turned his rear. His underwear loose, he suddenly stopped. The poor captain had nothing to bargain, but now hearken, out came his cock. The tribe was in awe, such was their law. The pillar of flesh was standing strong. Their sacred idol, one of their idol. They weren't homicide in front of the throng. Your old matey, now that was lucky. When misfortune strikes, we drink to the health of Gregor, the big dick who stopped the conflict. Only with his prick, down to his health, as well. I have the immense pleasure of seeing the crowd in front of me become more and more animated as I go through the song, which only motivates me to give more energy to each of my words. And dance between verses, I spin around on the stage, encouraging the audience to follow me as I merrily hop towards musicians to playfully circle them. And that's when I realized that's also why I hated this pool singing. It is technically perfect, but far more than I would ever be able to do. But it lacks life, joy, and movement. It lacks everything that makes me so thrilled to be on stage. I finish the song by bowing to the crowd and hear applause and shouts of joy. It seems like the party has come alive again, but even monsters give the songstress a new look. I truly hope that this song was not too barbaric and vulgar for your taste, lady. After all, I'm just a drunken partygoer. I give her one last wide smirk as she continues to glare at me. Well, I'm absolutely certain I've seen that exact expression now, but I don't see where I could have. Oh no. Shit. Erik, is everything alright? People seem to have liked the song. It's not the problem. The pool I felt like I knew her, and it just came back to me. She is the former fiancée of the Count of Kelt. Why is that a problem? The last time we saw each other, she caught me in bed with someone. It's embarrassing, but I don't see. With the Count, before they went their separate ways. Excuse me? I didn't know it was him. I've been drinking a lot, and I know that's no excuse, but I don't interfere with couples. That's a personal rule. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I guess that explains the looks she gave you. I jumped down the stage, followed by Akhet, as another band takes our place and the music starts up again. The party now truly underway. I never really talked to her. That was the only time I saw her, and the mood wasn't exactly there, as you can imagine. May I should apologize for that. I don't think she wants an apology, especially now. I guess you're right. I let out alongside. I had planned to have fun, but I have to admit that this reunion is dampening my mood a bit. I'm going to refill my cup. Do you want? I can't then lower his voice as if he was whispering a terrible secret to me. So naughty? I give him a amused smile. Looks like he found something he enjoys drinking. Not now, maybe later, but don't hold back for me. Okay? He grins cheerfully before giving me a brief worried look. I realized then that his drink is just an excuse to give me some time alone and settle down. Burn brain, you can just tell me this stuff. No need to make up excuses. The problem is, as I watch him go, I realize that I don't want to be alone. I want to be distracted. I want company. I should join someone.